Friends, I'll ask that you take your seats. We turn to page 26 and we rise.
המלך יעננו ביום קורבנו, ברכו את אדוני המלך. Baruch Adonai Melech le'olam va'ed.
Seated. Baruch atah Adonai Melech le'olam. Uma'avir yom u'mevi layla, ma'avir ben yom u'vein layla, Adonai tzavot shemo. Elachai v'kayam et amidim l'chalin le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv ahavim. Page 28. Avat olam Beit Yisrael, chavta Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu, b'shochveinu u'v'kumeinu, נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגה יומם ולילה, יומם ולילה. ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. Page 30. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha Hayom al levavecha, v'shinanetam levanecha, v'dibahta bam, v'shiftecha b'veitecha, uv'lechtecha v'derech, ושוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך, ובשעריך, והיה עם שמוע. ונתתי מטר ארצכם ביתר, ומקוש וספת דגנך ותירושך ויצריך. Adonai Elohechem Emet. Page 36. Ve'emunah chozot v'kayam aleinu. מלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם משה בני ישראל, לך אנו שירה בשמחה רבה, ויאמרו כולם, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות, אוסף למלכותך, ראו פניך בקיים לפני משה, זה ליאנו ויאמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וביאו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל. Page 38. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Shalom. Shmor Tzeitenu uvoin lechem shalom yata v'yad olam baruch ata Adonai shomer amo Yisrael lad. On the bottom of 39, we'll read responsively in the English. Help us, O God, to lie down in peace and awaken us with confident trust for tomorrow. Guide them, O Lord, with your good counsel. Direct them toward the path of serenity. Help them to feel protected and sheltered, sustained even in grief by your compassion. Help them, O Lord, to lie down in peace. Awaken them with confident trust for tomorrow. Page 40. Baruch Adonai le'olam amen ve'amen. Baruch Adonai. המלכות שלך היא לא מיד תמלוך בכבוד, כי אין לנו מלך אלא אתה, ברוך אתה אדוני, המלך בכבודו תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד, ועל כל מעשיו. Page 44. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, וילמד דברי חירותי, וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון, ובחיי כל בית ישראל. בעגלה, בעגלה, ובזמן קריב, ואמרו, אמן, יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה. יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר, ויתרומם, ויתנשא, ויתהדר, ויתעלה, ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמיהירן בעלמה, ואמרו אמן. We rise for the Amidah, which is recited silently between page 47 and 58. Page 60. יתגדל ויתקדש מרבה, יעמדי באחרירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, ועגלה בזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם עולם מעולם היה. יתברך וישתבח ויתרומם וינשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה בריחו. לעילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה, תושחתה ונחמתה, נאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. תקבל צלותנו ואותנו לכל ישראל, קדם אבון לשמיה ואמרו אמן. יש למה רבים משמי וחיים עלינו וכל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו amen. Page 62, we rise. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, תת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, יום ההוא ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו echad. Mourners rise and recite the Kaddish on page 68. Yitgadal v'yitkadash merabah, v'yalma divrach hirutei, v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon u'vyomechon u'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, v'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevorach le'olam u'me'al maya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudsha brichu. Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, namiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom imromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. So there's a custom to teach Mishnah in a house of mourning, because if you rearrange the letters of the Hebrew word Mishnah, it spells neshama, which means soul. And the idea, the belief is that by teaching Torah, it's a way of uplifting either the souls of the living or the soul of the person who has passed to higher levels. Usually this is done by finding a letter that corresponds to the person's Hebrew name. So Bobby's Hebrew name starts with a nun, and it's sometimes more challenging than others to find Mishnayot that start with that particular Hebrew letter. And lo and behold, the one I opened to today is a teaching by Nitai Ha'arbeli. And it comes from the first chapter of Pirkei Avot. I'm laughing because our middle son, we're going to name Nitai. And it's actually on the hospital certificate. And whenever I see that name Nitai, I kind of laugh because Adina didn't like it. So we kind of threw it out. But we have this funny hospital birth certificate that says Nitai Re'aim. In any event, this particular rabbinic teaching is Harchek Mishachen Ra, Ve'al Titchaber Larasha, Ve'al Tityaesh Min Hapur Anut. Nitai of Arbel used to say that you should distance yourself from an evil neighbor and avoid association with a wicked person, and do not despair about divine retribution. It's an interesting statement, and really what I want to focus on is the last section. His initial teaching is about associating with people who are just bad people, right? You should stay away from bad people. And you may get the sense sometimes in looking around at the world that there's more evil than good, especially today, right? Sometimes, you know, my wife says, thank God my mother isn't alive to witness everything that's going on in Israel now. And truth be told, there always seems to be evil in the world, and there always seems to be every so often issues that arise that are difficult to deal with. And his last statement, Al tityaesh, don't despair. And what it really is saying, in a sense, is that there isn't really an answer to Jeremiah's question in chapter 12 of Jeremiah, why does the way of the wicked seem to prosper? And what Nitai, I think, is saying is that, you know, if you look around and you see things aren't so great in the world, don't give up. The opposite. You should try your best to do whatever is the little good that you could do in little ways. But don't despair. I think that teaching, actually, of not despairing is really one that certainly applies to Bobby. I mean, he was not one who would just give up or who would just, you know, despair if he looked around. I mean, he may shake his head and say, I can't believe this, but he would never give up. And I think that that's really an important lesson, that no matter how bad things seem to be, one really should never give up on things. The opposite. In some ways, one should work harder in order to make sure that good triumphs over evil. I think that's a teaching that would certainly resonate with Bobby's personality. And with that, we'll ask that the mourners rise and recite the mourner's Kaddish on page 68. Yitgadal v'yitkadash merabah, v'yalmad divrach yirutei, v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uvyomechon, v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, b'gala u'vizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevorach le'olam u'me'amaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yit'aleh v'yit'alal shemei dekudsha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlom al rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. To the Hamill family, we say, Hamakom yinachem etchem b'toch shar avelei Tzion v'Yerushalayim. May God comfort you amongst those who mourn Zion and Jerusalem. That word for God in that phrase is an unusual one. It's not Adonai, it's not Elohim, it's Makom, which also means place. Place, community, people who you've grown up with, your friends, are the ones that surround you during these difficult times. They are the ones that hopefully bring you some measure of comfort. And I like to say that it's really through people that God works. And we hope that in the days, the weeks, and the months to come, that your friends and your family will bring you some measure of comfort. Two quick announcements. Just please return your reading books on the tables on the outside. As you exit, Minyan tomorrow night is at 7 o'clock here. And please join us in the social hall afterwards down the hall. Thank you.